Oh, that sound. That beautiful, nostalgic sound. Those of us who had an SNES back in 1993 remember this sound all too well. So when the announcement came out that this game was going to be remade in February 2018 with voice acting and 3D graphics, a lot of excited nerds jumped on this fairly quickly. So, ladies and gentlemen, for today's Let's Talk About Games, I give you Secret of Mana. Let's talk about games, shall we? Hey again, nerds, this is Wildfire1 with Nerds New Sexy Entertainment. Once again bringing you a game review. And it's not just any game review this time, it's going to be a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. Today I'll be doing a review on the remake of Secret of Mana. So let's jump right into this, shall we? So, originally known as Seiken Densetsu 2, Secret of Mana came out in 1993. For the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now I have to tell you, the original is probably one of the best action role-playing games I've ever played at the time. I remember how astounded I was when I first played it. Everything was amazing in this game. The level up system, the story, everything made sense to me. There wasn't one part of this game that I could not connect to, and it all made sense. And then a few months before 2018, I heard they were going to do a remake of Secret of Mana, including voice acting and 3D graphics, and it looked amazing, and I was excited, though some of the voice acting at the time when I first heard it, I really wasn't excited about. I was kind of expecting more for a game like this, and I guess you can blame that on my nerd nostalgia. So despite my worries about the game, I still put money down on it and pre-ordered it several months before it was coming out. And that was a wait, I'll tell you right now, that wait was long. I was ecstatic. In my head, I was ready to take on the role of the holder of the Mana Sword again and go out there and vanquish evil and relive my childhood. And I was truly hoping that they would prove me wrong about the voice acting. Another thing I was really excited about this remake was the music. The music was an amazing part of the first game, and I was really excited to see what they were going to do with it in this remake. So after a small introduction scene, the game basically goes to what you see before you.
Maybe it's treasure. Let's go find it.
Help! I'm gonna fall!
Help him! Ah, you suck! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your character can't even stand on his own 2 feet. Right off the bat, I was kind of standoffish against the music. In my head, I would think, is it because I'm so nostalgic of the original themes that the newer themes just didn't work for me? I don't know. I don't know about the music.
I have a bad feeling about it.
The music was like part of the beauty of the first game. And it sounds like they just threw it together to try and give it some, like, I don't know, different instrumentals and stuff, which is cool. But you don't fuck with Secret of Mana's music. I mean, it's not so bad. Maybe I can get used to it. Maybe I'm being like one of those hippie guys, those hipsters or whatever. You know, it's not as good as the original. One of the things I used to love about the original was the dancing shopkeep. And let me tell you, they kept that character true to his nature. They got the dancing. Oh, he's like breakdancing too. He's not just doing the... When it comes to most of the game mechanics, they kept the game pretty true to its nature. Everything's on kind of a wheel system to where you can see what you can buy and sell. Now, as far as graphics go, it's a very pretty game. It's not the best or top of the line as what we're used to, you know, in this generation of gaming. But I think it does well for what it was trying to accomplish.
Monsters have surrounded the village!
I think another issue that I have with the game is that when a character speaks, his mouth doesn't move in the cutscenes. And I think that really takes away from the magic. I mean, if you're going to make a 3D game, or rather remake a game into 3D, why wouldn't you put any type of mouth movement in when you have the voice actors doing the lines? It almost seems lazy to me.
Here, you take it.
Like I stated earlier, I was very excited about the voice acting, and it was kind of touch and go, but we'll touch base on that a bit more later.
Nothing more I can do for you. Forgive me.
That's okay, I'm what, 13? I can go out on my own. Just call me Ash Ketchum. I wanna be the very best. I hope there's a Pikachu. There's not a Pikachu, but there's a rabbit instead. So you end up pulling this sword from a stone and having to fight this gigantic monster. You end up saving this town in the process. Well, the town, after you save it, decides that the sword is evil. So what do? They banish you.
By order of the Elder, you have been banished from Potos village. Now be gone.
Potos vanishos, beganos. Now, once again, the battle system's a lot like the original. They did such a good job keeping kind of the old feeling with everything in this, especially with the battle system, that they didn't miss a beat as far as the battle system is concerned. So let's talk about the characters. You have the annoying cat that has all sorts of cat puns.
Welcome to Neko's.
Neko!
Oh, you're interested. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Then you have Gemma, the knight that has little to no backstory.
There, let's go.
And then there's Luca, the plot device.
By defeating monsters and obtaining their orbs, you can reforge and restore the sword's mana power.
Okay.
It looks like your sword regained some power from vanquishing the mantis ant.
So the next character you actually meet after being caught by a bunch of goblins.
Do not move. Stay still.
Goblin eats you.
Very lucky human. You will be main dish tonight.
No! Let me go!
Delicious human. Very lucky. Dancing has begun. I join in.
We're gonna go dance. I'll eyeball my eyes out.
Hey, you there! What are you doing here, you idiot?
I'm the idiot.
Please help me!
Come on, let's get out of here.
Not too much later from that scene, you find out that she's some sort of royalty. You get to name her, and she becomes part of your party. Why not? I ended up naming this
Looks like
particular
Sally.
character Sally. And you find out that Sally has some pretty bad daddy issues.
What are you doing?
I hate you, Dad!
Jesus!
This place is no longer my home. I'm never coming back.
Now, one of the issues I found with this game is that it seems like some of the NPCs just say random stuff. I can't remember if this had to do with the original, if the original did this itself and they're just staying true, or if the writers themselves didn't know what to do with the dialogue, so they just wrote in whatever they could.
You may not enter.
Enter what?
You may not enter.
Enter what? Something is seriously wrong with these guards. The next playable character you find is probably one of the most I was excited to get to. And that, of course, was the Sprite character. And when you first meet him, he's trying to con you out of your money. And it's kind of hilarious, actually.
This poor child has a 50,000 GP debt to pay off before they can go free.
Haha! I'll take that, thank you! What? There's nothing more to see here. Leave!
So after that hilarity, you actually catch them in the lie. The Dorfelder gives you your money back and goes on to explain that the Sprite child is lost. Now, one of the big things I remember growing up with this game is that no one knew if the sprite was male or female. That was one of the biggest controversies that everyone would talk about that I knew playing this game as a kid. The remake continues that mystery, referring to the sprite child as them or they, rather than he or she.
The shock from getting washed away affected this child's memories. They can't remember anything. They're a good child. Just with a few attitude problems and a loud mouth.
Yeah, well, It'll all work out eventually. Why rush it?
As the story progresses, you find out that there's a witch that kidnaps Sally's love interest by the name of Dyluck.
No! Dialogue! Elena, what have you done with him?
My. Oh my. Such a peculiar young man. For some reason, my magic didn't work properly on him.
After more or less defeating the witch, you go on to forgive her, almost instantaneously, for the dumbest reasons ever.
No! Please, forgive me. I didn't mean for this to happen. But once the magical herbs that grew in my forest withered, I had no choice. I exchanged the souls of the villagers for herbs from Thanatos to keep my powers. Lesson learned. I'm resigned to be a simple old lady and live a normal life from now on.
So let me get this straight. You kidnapped somebody because you needed more herbs for your hobby, get caught, attempt to murder the main characters, and then apologize and get away with it because you're just a little old lady. At this point, the adult in me is screaming, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, now that I've introduced some of the characters and given you some of the story, let's talk about some of the issues I've had with this game as I played it. As I may have mentioned earlier, I pre-ordered this game months before it came out. So when it did come out in February of 2018, I was super excited. So you can imagine my disappointment when, after playing the game for a few hours, I would constantly get this. You want to talk about frustration? There is absolutely nothing worse than getting into a game and playing for a few hours and then getting this message every time you play for a few hours. And sometimes it was less than that. Sometimes it would do it after 30 or 40 minutes. It made playing and beating this game next to impossible. Why do you think I'm putting this review out so late? This would happen throughout the game so many times that I just wanted to rage quit the game. That I just wanted to stop and delete it from my PlayStation and never come back to it. But my nostalgia was too powerful. So my next complaint is interesting because there's good points and bad points. The voice acting. In certain aspects, the voice acting in this game is amazing, and I will get to that later on. However, there are some parts in this game that makes you want to tear your ears off because the voice acting is so terrible.
Rocket to the tiger! Unlike our cousins the Mushbooms, we're a peaceful tribe.
We're just not equipped for fighting. There's no way we can defeat the monsters in the northern cave.
I'm sure King Truffle would be willing to help you.
I didn't expect perfect voice acting all the time. However, I also didn't expect to hear a Saturday morning cartoon on a game that I was so nostalgic about. And I felt that certain areas of the voice acting could have used more effort.
King Truffle was willing to help you.
Whoa! I saw a white dragon up in the mountains. They're supposed to be extinct.
Of course we know the legend! A mana beast took down the mana fortress and destroyed the world.
Hole's been devoured.
Wait,
You offended there?
it's the same dude.
All the food in the hole's been...
They got the same voice. Speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, what other game could you play that would let you save Santa
They're
Claus?
all gone. That monster is the only thing in the Ice Palace. I think the monster's got my master. Help me!
What are you?
Master! Master Claus! Are you alright?
Oh, Rudolph. Sorry to have worried you. I'm fine now. It was me. I became a Frost Gigas. Lately...
And for all the bad voice acting, there's also very decent voice acting in this too. In fact, some really good voice acting.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, she does
I
not
won't
have...
go back. Dyluck and I are happy here. Leave us be.
What? But Pamela, that can't be.
Pamela, okay.
It feels good to come out on top.
Hit her again!
You hear me? It's really me, Dyluck. You must listen to me. Thanatos was once an ancient sorcerer who sold his soul to Mavolia in exchange for eternal life. This is goodbye. But I have to do this. Please, take care of her.
So how would I rate this game after telling you guys about the pros and cons? Other than adding more dialogue, they didn't really change the game itself. The dynamics were the same. The gameplay actually added to the nostalgia. I think there was just a little too much dialogue, especially in areas where you'd go to the inn and rest.
What's with those balloons?
The balloons?
Yeah, the ones that make your brain go all fuzzy. I kinda like them.
It's sort of like stress relief. The balloons make you space out.
Yeah.
It's nice to take a break now and then.
Ugh, really? I don't like them at all.
I don't think you need the balloon to space out.
Huh? What do you mean?
Sometimes you stop and stand there for no reason.
I'm just thinking of our next move, or looking at the map, or looking up monster weaknesses.
I think that's a little... So with the good and the bad of this game, I would definitely rate it a 7. It's worth playing. If you're patient and can get past the error screens, it's definitely a worthwhile play. However, there is room for improvement. As always, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. I hope you enjoyed my review of the remake of Secret of Mana. Till then, stay nerdy, and we'll see you on the next Let's Talk About Games.